what is the duty of a civilized person? I have a responsibility, and I have a commitment both in the process of taking the images, but in having the images now, I have a responsibility to make sure the history and culture of the people which I documented is preserved for future generations. So that is my duty right now. I have a responsibility. It's one thing to create these images and freeze moments in time, but what are you going to do with it right now? How do you use these images to inspire the world? And in looking at this great universal language of photography that transcends cultures and color, I'm able to impact people around the globe using that language right now. But what I find very important now is the fact that a lot of my subjects are reaching out to me from different aspects of my journey. A lot of young men that were incarcerated with me back in the 80s, many of them who did 30 years, who are reaching out to me, and they appreciate the work in which I've done. A lot of children of the people I photographed were reaching out to me, informing me that they never saw a picture of their mother or father before, but I had that picture, and it gave them a sense of who they were, and they thank me for that. I get messages like that like every week, and that really moves me, to know that my work has that type of impact, to know that it brings joy in a person's life, because I've had emails and direct messages that people said to me, even in the comments section, that your photograph made my day. And that lets me know that I'm doing something. So I'm committed to just trying to uphold the torchlight, using the language of visual imagery. And it's very important to me, not only here in this country, but in all the places I go. I bring these images to showcase people of color, in a very honorable way. I just had an exhibition a few weeks ago called Honor and Dignity, in conjunction to the work of Gordon Parks, A Choice of Weapons. And it's very important for me to produce a body of work that deals with dignity, because our image, especially of people of color, has been compromised. Stereotypes, poison, like never before. So I have a responsibility, and I don't shy away from the negative side, because that's the reality, the despair, the prostitution, the alcoholism and addiction. But, I realize that there's a lot of fathers out there that are invisible to many people. There's a lot of families out there. There's a lot of people who are elevated in life that are not really seen. Young men and women who are graduating from high school and college, and we're not really seeing that. Civil service workers, so I want to document them and show the world that we do exist. W.D.E. Du Bois back in the 1900s came up with an idea called the Negro Exhibition that was shown in Paris in 1900. His idea of gathering up all of these incredible images of black people, dignified images, he felt he had this vision to showcase this here because of how these negative images was being shown about people all over the world. And he saw the power of photography to offer a counter narrative to that work. So, the Negro Exhibition, think about it, 1900, he showed in Paris, and it was a major success, and it helped to break down stereotypes. And it helped to also open up, it had people of France become more empathetic with the plight of black people in this country. And that's why as time went on, a lot of African Americans would go and live in Paris. And especially when we look at the war in 1914, World War I, when a lot of blacks went and fought with the French. But I think that Du Bois, with his genius idea, having an exhibition there in 1900, it helped to break down those stereotypes. So when the black soldiers came, an image was already put in the minds of the people from France that there's another side that we are not seeing that needed to be shown. So I'm striving now to continue on that same path right now in 2020 to present my images in the light that's going to give a counter narrative to all the negative images that we are seeing so often now, and more now than ever before due to technology and social media, where images are being documented constantly, both positive and negative, and they can produce negative thoughts. So I have to produce another alternative through my work.